I'm watching the world burn while rolling up more herbs. Some joker shit copacetic, don't need no edit, my bars serve. A dusty Vegas nigga, so they say a native. It's a body bag every time I open my notebook, venom dripping. A symbiote Sharpie, shit is an armpiece when I write. A parasite in the back of my mind say rip mics. Y'all all sounded like, no wonder we keep eating right. Cattle call on y'all bars. Feeding is easy, eating rare raw. Nah. We believe to each his own, but the weak can die. Eat 'em all, no cannibal, we not the same. Look up, I lace my walls like I'm feeding a queen xenomorph. Brother Lynch isn't wrong, he's just a monster. We just feed on bars, father figures to fetal forms, indeed. But we will eat 'em all if they proceed to spit a bar.
Paul won't miss this little, which is the part of the prefrontal lobe, which they say is the seat of good manners. Remember what I said, if you can't be polite to our guests, you have to sit at the kiddies table.
Looking, a killer's kitchen at the counter loading shells till lectors. Somebody's listening, not to mention that odd smell. Oculus, obvious, ominous, all skill. Awesome is all hell, the ambiance is all kill. Y'all chill, I be sharpening bars, loading lines like a mag. Y'all squad falling apart, my circle structure is stronger. Monsters, we tussle with guards. Y'all niggas bicker like children fighting over bitches and cars. So picture this part, Wattzsun and them came super hard. Kill all your dogs, Wattzsun a Chinese restaurant, rockin' the 90s fiddle more. Property line to spittle, probably got 1,000,000 or more rhymes to shit on y'all. Pin in my left hand blue, that's like a crippin' bar. Am I trippin'? But when I listen, they can't spit like this no more. We sick for sure, pistol grip the pen and spit a bar. Oxnard, Chicago, Vegas hit a pressure point.
A needle in the haystack, acupuncture in your back. 30 seconds it'll make it go around the track. 360 degrees in rotation. Mind's eye manifestation, good conversation. Moon stay rising with that Wattzsun originals. Powerful, deliberate, they really wanna hear us spit. Karate kicking groins, blazing all these joints. Physical force, all up on them pressure points.
Back focus, I got the aim on the culprit. When they come with the questions, I don't know shit.
Yo, what's good? We in the building.
Yeah.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, my homie.
What's good, y'all? I'm Wattzsun, born and raised out here in North Las Vegas. Happy to be here. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, most definitely, man. I was waiting to tap in with you on the air. We had spoke a little bit earlier, man, and I was sitting here checking out your track. I seen you had, some dope features and stuff on there, so I was, excited to get on here and chop it up with you.
Word. Yeah, man. This is a real special project. You know what I mean? It's the EP. I didn't want to have any, fillers, no time wasted. I just wanted all hard music. So I reached out to who I thought was some all, hard lineup, and made it happen. I got my daughter on here rhyming with me. Me, her, and Planet Asia got a song together. I got Blue out of California on here rhyming with me. And as you just heard, Miss Toy, you know what I'm saying? My partner 6 Mil is on here. And the whole thing is called Gas and Guns. You know what I mean? Real simple. Gas and guns, gas for the fire, guns for that explosion. You know what I mean? And it's completely produced by a Body Bag Band out of Oxnard, California. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah, I got a nice little West Coast feel and sound to this one.
Yeah, most definitely. It was fire. It had the West Coast hip hop vibe to it. You know what I mean?
There you go.
I was really messing with it. I had got the video prepared for the show and stuff like that. That's like my little 4th time watching it real fast. I was over here bumping it. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it, man.
I was rocking with it. I like the visual and the sound.
I appreciate it, man. And on the visuals, I did all of that. So I use AI, but not in a way to where I'm just typing in words and just taking what it give me and just put shit. Nah. I actually recorded videos. I got green screen over here in my spot. Recorded videos of me and my partners moving, doing everything I needed them to do. Yeah. Throw that into the AI, turn us into whoever I want us to be, and then, chop it up just the same way you would do a sample. That's what you got right there.
Hey, I was just thinking to myself, I meant to ask you that off air. I was like, man, you're going to have to teach me how to mess with some of the AI because I want to use that to do some acting and stuff like that.
Man, it's crazy, bro. Yeah, absolutely. We can definitely build on it, man. It's crazy. Already got the next video for the project lined up. That one is actually the title track, Gas and Guns. So it's just like 3 minutes of me spitting straight through over a body bag bin track. You know what I'm saying? And
That's nice.
the video is just all AI, and I'm gonna be, it's gonna be me, and the theme is kind of like they all kind of like trailers for horror movies, right?
Yeah.
That's the vibe. So this one is gonna be kind of like around like a church, cemetery, that type of thing. So I'll be putting that out in the next couple of weeks or so.
Yeah, I'm an artist myself, and hip hop. I always got the love for hip hop, man, and everything to do with it. One of the things I like about hip hop, and underground versus more the mainstream is you could do what you want with it, and I think that's where you get your fans and your merch and everything else, because you could take us in any direction you want to. You can make a zombie rap album, you know what I mean, and if you come put it together right, you know what I mean, it's gonna be dope. Hey, what's good with the homie Sean? I appreciate you tuning in, Sean. Good seeing you. And happy birthday. If I missed it, I know your birthday was up. We just tapping in. But yeah, that's what I love about hip hop. If you want to make a whatever type of album you want to make, your people gonna rock with it versus the mainstream. I feel like you gotta kind of stay in a certain lane.
Man, you hit it 100% on the head right there, man. Because I got a Star Wars EP out there
That's dope.
that
You
I
gotta
did like
send that to
maybe.
me.
Okay, yeah, we'll do. It's on my Bandcamp. It's called George Lucas Loves Sith Hop.
Yeah.
I did all the beats on that one. It's only me rhyming on that one, and I mean it's Star Wars theme, but I made sure to keep it fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that's
I
dope.
I give it away for free like every May 4th. You know what I mean? Type of thing. But it's streaming. But that like you said, man. Them concepts, man. I can't do that in no other genre. I don't know how to go over if I'm trying to sing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That might not work. But with
Yeah,
this, it's a hand in hand.
I think it's a big thing, and this is one of the reasons I had this platform. Like, I'm an artist myself, but part of this, I mean, I interview all kind of people. I'm, getting actors and different stuff now, but as far as artists, I'm a fan of hip hop. I'm also a fan of music. You know what I mean, and I love tapping in with artists. You know what I mean, that's doing their thing and come from the underground and come from this because it's gonna have its own little wave and style to it because you know how the mainstream is, man, and it's always you know
It it's always. That's all you got to say. It's always straight up.
it's I don't know what wave we in. Like I was just telling homie on the last interview, I was talking to some cats out of Oakland. But it seemed like hip hop, music was suffering, the rap was suffering. Then they came with the Kendrick and Drake beef, and that was dope. But it was kind of a real LA thing. You know what I mean? Which is dope.
Right.
We
Right.
rock
Right.
this West Coast, but I'm Bay Area, whatever. And it's like hip hop rap needed that because I don't know where we at right now. I mean, we got a lot of females leading the industry right now, which is dope. There's a lot of ladies with heat, but I feel like I'm not as excited about rap and stuff like I used to be before. Like and there's been
And
some articles that said the genre is suffering, but
and you know what, the content of those females you mentioned, you know what I mean? With that, you don't have to say no names, but the content, that's what I'm not really interested in. I can name a couple other female MCs that's, murdering things right now. Rock, you know what I mean? Rhapsody, you know what I'm saying? Like
most
it's
definitely.
it's it's some nice ones, but they just don't get that mainstream look the same way the other ones do. And it's definitely content related.
Most definitely. Like I said it on the last interview. You know what I mean? If I'm in the club on my fifth consecutive Hennessy, and Sexy Red come on, it might be cool for that moment. But
Bet.
for the rest of the time, it might not be what I need right then and there. You know what I mean? I might need some different vibrations. You know what I mean?
And that's what the mainstream lost, was that balance, right?
Yeah, most
Because
definitely.
because there was a little bit of that back in the day, but it's been shifting all the way to where, like you said, like the radio just sound like the club right now.
Yeah, you hit it on the head, because one day I was watching, I was on YouTube or whatever, and I had, bumped some Sexy Red. I ran into a new video and she had like Soldier Boy in there. I'm like, man, that's dope for her, looking out for artists and people, especially in this rap stuff, they'll try to dog artists from way back when, like, oh, they washed up and this and that. She's showing them some love, but people will be like, oh, this is what's wrong. But I think it's just about a balance. You're gonna have your Sexy Red, but you also need to have your lyricism over here and your pro culture, and you got a little bit of this over here, and then you
Yep.
got,
Yep.
this over there, and it's the right balance. But like you said, it's a lack of balance.
Yep. Absolutely, man. It was much better when we had Common and we had Two Live Crew
Yeah,
and we had NWA and we had Wu Tang. You know what I mean? That was
you
coming.
you right.
That's a nice full plate right there.
I never looked at it like that, and it's like, are we gonna get back to that? Because I know there's some like yourself, there's some dope artists out there, and like I said, doing this podcast, coming up a lot of times we competitors, but in a lot of times, in this music, yeah, we like to compete, but I always felt like it got to a point where it's like I'm doing my thing, I can't rock with you. People acting, it's so much politics, this, and that. But I'm really doing this to showcase and interact with dope artists and see everybody flavor, and we can raise the vibration. You know what I mean? I'm
Absolutely.
excited to see your video on here and what project you got, and chop it up
Right.
with you and do that. You know what I mean? And that's what we
Right.
need to go back to.
Yep. Yep. We
Like
need more of that.
yeah, what was that? The tribe had the native tongues or whatever they thing was
Yeah.
back
Yep.
in the
Native
day,
tongue.
where it was a community and everybody bringing a different flavor. They
Hmm.
might have had Chuck D, but then there was a Flavor Flav, and but some people, oh, I'm the dopest
Right.
lyricist, and I don't, everybody, that's not everybody flavor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey,
Absolutely.
everybody ain't gonna have the Buddhist palm. Somebody gonna have this other technique over here that they do. You know what I mean? And and
Right.
and, and that's what it is.
And I mean, and new things pop up all the time. Like, what about when Screw music popped up?
Yeah.
When DJ Screw came out and threw
Oh,
everybody left field. You know what I'm saying?
bruh,
Threw
I that
everything left field.
bruh, that era of music and sound, as dope as I think it's slept on. Cause I mean, I'm from the Bay, and I mean, we
Hmm.
had the hyphy movement, which I really liked. But I'm gonna be honest with you, when they was doing the screw movement, I was all the way locked in. Cause to me, this shit was fire. I mean,
Boy,
I liked how colorful it was. They used to come out with like the cereal box mixtape covers. Then the shit
man.
was they was chopping and screwing, you know what I mean? Every thing you could think of and rapping over it. Oh my goodness.
One of the crazy ones that I don't think anybody will forget is the Aaliyah one. When they chopped and
Mm,
screwed Aaliyah, that was like, Timberland's beat. Love
yeah.
it, babe. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I
Yes.
still I s- I still go back. I mean, not too long ago I was going and digging through screw music and listening to some of the flips, or hey, listening to this song screwed, or this song screwed. And I mean, I remember when they came out with Still Tipping, you know what I mean? When they had everybody on there. And I was
Hmm.
like, bro, this sample, I don't know where they got it from, but this is bananas.
Right. Coming from a whole different area that no other genre area of the country would have done. Nobody else would have done that. It
Man,
had to come
now
from there.
man, now let's do it like this. Let's take you know what I mean, Paul Wall, and throw him with the Alchemist and see what they come up with. And let's take this person and throw him with that person and see what they come up with, and have tapes. It's like collecting comic books, and I feel like we got away from that. And I mean, sometimes I feel like with artists, they so ready to go jump up and work with this person up here that they forget about working with, people down here, or whatever else. I don't know, man. I don't have all the answers, but I just know I would like to preserve this culture, and see it grow, and maintain it, because it's been such a factor in my life, like everybody else's
Right.
life.
Right. And I mean, that's how I try to do in my own circle. You know what I mean? Like I try to reach out to people. Honestly, man, I say it all the time. It's dope if you the best at what you do. But if you're not a good person, I'm not rocking with you. And I've kept
Most
that
definitely.
same level of, integrity, I guess, with all of my interactions. I don't care about none, if you're not somebody who I really believe is somebody I can be around, you know what I mean, who handles
Yeah.
their life the right way, then we really shouldn't be working together, in my opinion. Eventually it's not gonna work.
No, most definitely, most definitely. It's just, when once you get to a point, money is a factor. Money's gonna come, money's gonna go. But you just want to have the right vibe. And the vibe for me, I'm doing like, I started out with hip hop, and now I'm doing like funk electronic music, which has been a whole new challenge to me because I still want to keep it player and funky, but I still want to branch out. So I don't want to just go full, somebody else, but I'm doing it. But I realized my purpose in life, and then I've been doing some acting. I got a movie and stuff coming up,
Oh
but
shit, dope.
I want to be a creator. I want to create things that, can make people feel a vibe, and
Right.
I can imagine myself, okay, say I got 30 million in my pocket. I'm not tripping on money. At what point, what will I be doing? I'll be trying to create a vibe and, create things and make people feel good. That's what I always
Hmm.
I think that's what I did music for and do stuff for. I want to see if I can make you smile or make you this or make you that, and we're
Right.
not perfect, we got our hurdles, but for me, that's my journey, you know what I mean? And everybody got to see their journey.
Nah, and you just, yeah, you said it right, because I wanted to make people feel something when I started doing music. The whole thing was I wanted people to feel like how I felt when I heard the artist who I think is great, right?
Yeah.
So the first time I heard, 36 Chambers, or
Mm.
first time I heard, you know what I mean? There's a laundry list. We can do that all day. But that first time you heard Nas or whatever, that, oh damn, what is this? And you couldn't stop. I'm trying to create that now with my music. You know what I mean?
Most definitely. Like I go listen to different stuff, man. And I'm be honest with you. Like one of my biggest influences is ODB, and I'm doing this funk music now. And I'm like, man, I can't sing like Kirk Franklin, but I could do my ODB on this
Yep.
record, and then go from there. I start checking out ODB, and I just always loved his energy, and I got some of that in me. Then I'm looking at the ODB, and Mariah Carey went out and got him for a track,
Right.
and I'm just
Right.
looking at this energy that he got, and then like you'll go listen to Public Enemy, you know what I mean, and then how you're thinking, you know what I mean, and feeling some way. Now I'm watching Malcolm X, you feel me, the movie. Now
Hmm.
I'm back
You
going
didn't
back
tumble
to
down the
Audible.
rabbit hole.
Yeah, now I'm
Yeah.
going to Audible. Now I'm like, okay, I gotta go listen to the Malcolm X book once again for the ninth time. You know what I mean? And it's all creating these feelings, man.
Hmm. And then out of all of that, you know, you might create a beat or a piece of art or write a rhyme, or you never know how it's going to come out. And it's funny, you can, after you've done something, sometimes, or at least I look back at maybe a rhyme I wrote and it's like, oh, I see where my head was at with that one. That was
Man,
definitely influenced by me reading this or me watching that, or, you know, okay,
most definitely. It's like it's a beautiful thing. Like, you know, the technology that we have now is so dope. Like I got phones, we all got phones, but in AI too, we got the ability now where I'm chopping samples during the day on my phone. Now I'm not making a whole beat, and I know people do that where they
right.
make a whole beat, but I'm chopping the sample. So, I get a bass loop the other day and I'm just listening to this bass loop. And because for a while I had stopped having the energy to make music because just the culture or whatever. But then I'm doing it now. So I got this bass loop. I chopped it. And now this AI, and it ain't no big secret, this AI has the ability to break different parts of the songs apart to
Yep.
sample.
Yep.
So now I'm breaking these songs apart, and now I'm snatching these bass line. I got this bass line, you know what I mean? And I go home and throw it in the MPC, you know what I mean? And now I make this beat, you know what I mean? And I made a track, 1-800 you freak, you know what I mean? And I'm
Hmm.
grooving, and it's just the beauty of it, and doing this and doing what we do and artists do. It's just a beautiful thing, and I want to see this thing keep growing because I think these artists need to be compensated in the right way in what they're doing, because I know what I go through in my process and how much I done spent just to try to make somebody feel a vibe.
And you just said it. You used your AI as a tool.
Yes.
You didn't use AI and make a song. That's a
No.
big difference there. That's a big difference. And that's the misconception. I made this with AI, or songs that are made in AI. It's a huge difference. You can use it as a tool, or you can let it do the work for you. And you
Right.
and a creative person ain't with that. You ain't even thinking that way.
Hell no.
Hmm.
Because like what I just wanted to, like you said, be a tool to boost what I'm doing, because making beats, like you said, you make beats. Like I was messing with this shit the other day. Like, first of all, I was like, because it take me a while to catch on with certain shit. I'm like, man, we done this technology is crazy. I hit my partner, Verse Born, in my group conquest. I'm like, bro, what a time to be alive. Do you know
Right.
how long for years we've been sampling and you could only really like mess with the beginning of a record, or you could only mess with the part where the drums faded out, or you could only mess with it on at the certain part where you could get the snare to line up with your snare to loop it. Now you can go in the track and separate the whole bass line and the whole instruments to take a snippet somewhere and then mess with that, bruh. It relaunched my whole love with the whole shit.
Yeah. I
It,
mean, I had the same experience showing somebody my I got the Native Instruments machine, right?
mm-hmm.
So when I first got it, I showed it to a friend of mine, and he was like, I was just like, okay, so here's how you chop, and I'm doing it nonchalant on some. Okay, so here's how you do this, here's how you do that, because I'm just gonna pass it over because I wanted him to do something on there. He said,
Yeah,
"Whoa, did you just chop the whole song up by pressing one button?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And see, I'm not even thinking at the time, what's the big deal? He was like, "Man, do you know how long it would have took to do that on blah blah blah, type of whatever was popular at that, what I'm saying? Man, I would have been an all nighter trying to chop up an entire song.
bruh.
He was like, man, that'd be damn near impossible. And you just did it with a button. And I was like, icing on top. Oh yeah, you could turn it to 16s or 32s or 8. He was like, this is not, what I'm saying? But
We
that the
we
technology just opened everything up.
we had a tool years ago, and I think it was Native Instruments. I forget what it was, but it was called the Fatmatic Pro. And when we
Okay.
first got this, we were like, whoa, because you could take it and you could press some certain things, like you said, and it could break out the song into micro samples,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
was dope. But it got to a point where it was like expired or they wasn't putting it out no more. And for
Mm,
years we lost it. Then I got the MPC. I just went and copped the MPC, and I'm like, bro, why didn't I have an MPC years ago? Because I've been chopping all this shit by hand, taking forever. So I got the MPC. Now with the AI and the MPC, so now when I got time on my hands away from home, I'm like, let me snatch this bass line. Now I could take this bass line and turn that into 4 or 5 beats, and then I could chop that and throw it into the MPC. You know what I mean? To chop it. And
mhm.
oh man, it's what it. I just feel lucky because I'm thinking about like all these producers that came before that didn't have these abilities and what they would have did,
Right. And that kind of speaks to the genius of some of them, or a lot of them, because look at what they did with the limitations they had.
bruh.
You know what I mean? The Pete Rocks, the RZA, the Jay Dillas. I mean, come on, man.
Oh man,
What was
I
he
mean,
doing? That's nuts.
when you could really go in there now and take any part of the song, because I'm doing this funk and electronic stuff, and I'm still gonna do some rap if I'm doing some compilations or whatever. I'm still doing that. But one of the things I want to do is make beat tapes with visuals to them, animation or whatever else, because I see like
So
that's a vibe. Just whether it's lo-fi, whether it's a kung fu tape, whatever,
that's
like
dope.
because I just
Yeah.
ain't had as much time being busy and doing everything I want to. But man, to be able to take this stuff and to do that and separate anything, man, if I had a month to go back, I feel like I would be able to get Alchemist on the phone.
Right.
Like, bro,
Right.
hey, baby, I know, just do something for me, man. Look, you know what I
Huh.
mean?
Let's make it happen.
Man, because I ain't even had time to mess with it like I want. I'm just taking snippets, you
Right.
know, just taking snippets. How was it like for you? This your first time working with Planet Asia?
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Cool. The experience was great because I mean, I reached out to him on a random, like, man, I wonder if he'll
That's
fuck with
dope.
me. You know what I'm saying? And
Dope.
not only did he fuck with me, he hit me up. We spoke on the phone. We talked about it. You know what I'm saying? Once he
Man,
sent me the verse back, yo, you good with that? Absolutely, man. I love it. All right, cool. And like I said, it's a song that me and my daughter is on. Her name is Renee. So she's
that's
rhyming on
dope.
there too. So she's holding her own right there with Asia. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And what's
beautiful.
crazy is she hit me up maybe a month after we recorded our song, and she said, Dad, I'm working on my album. Do you think I can get Planet Asia to do a song? I hit him up. I text him as soon as it wasn't even 30 minutes, I don't think. He hit me right back and was like, yeah, just have her send me the track. Boom, boom. That's dope, man. You
That
can't
that's
beat that.
that's fire, man. Cause like I've been dealing with these cats and in the retro. Like for me, my first stage name was Wreck the Rebel, very hip hop, whatever. And then I
Yeah.
kind of switched to Flamingo Fred, which they both still my names, but I switched to Flamingo Fred, and my branding kind of expanded. I noticed a lot more people was messing with and messing with me in different situations. So I'm doing hosting, I'm doing this, and that. Like I just opened up for the comedy show that we had the other night, doing a little, because I feel like I'm a kind of funny dude. I'll be doing sketches and shit. I like acting. So I
Hmm.
did like a little bit, a couple of lines, open up a comedy show. But I said that to say I've been dealing with a lot of these comedians and actors and stuff like that. That might have had a, like the black dude, what's his name? Michael. I don't want to mess up his name. I think it's Michael Wilson. I forget. But basically, he was the black dude from the Police Academy movies that did all the sound effects.
I know you're talking about.
Everybody knows him from that. So
Yeah, yeah.
Jamie Kennedy from Malibu's Most Wanted. So all these people are coming
Hmm.
up here, and I'm rocking with them. And to be honest with you, man, a lot of these cats are cool. I just did an interview with Skippy. You know what I mean? That was on Family Ties with Michael J. Fox the other day. He came on my podcast. So a lot of these cats, man, is cool. And I say that to say, you know, I felt like sometimes in this rap shit, maybe it's changing now. Like a lot of people just act Hollywood. You know what I mean? Or they trying to hit you over the head, or they trying to do this, and that, when we really just need to be rocking and vibing. Now, every Tom, Dick, and Harry shouldn't just be able to come to your table and eat for free. But
Right.
if you
Absolutely.
see somebody that's working and doing something and pushing a movement, you should be able to tap in with them and be able to work no matter what level you at. And I feel like that's how it's always been. You know what I mean? No matter what heights you reach, you know what I mean? You might be the biggest artist in the world and on TV every day. But if somebody hollers at you and they able to lay down something cool on that track, why can't you rock with them?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's exactly it. And I was blessed because this project, I don't know, the way I've always done albums is you have an idea in your head, you go after that idea. It's almost like by the time you're done with the album, it's kind of its own thing now. It may not be exactly what you started out with, right? This album, everything that I planned came out exactly like I planned it. So
Mm-hmm.
the first person I hit up on the song with me and my daughter for Planet was Planet Asia. He was my first choice,
Mm-hmm.
right? For that to work out on this project was amazing. You know what I'm saying? Ben, Body Bag Ben, the first 5 beats he sent me, first five, that's them. He
Yeah.
was like, "Yo, I'll send you some more if you're not rocking with any of these." And I'm like, I listened to him like, "Nah, this is it." Hit up Miss Toy because I was like, she's the first voice that I hear for this slot. She got hopped on it. You know what I mean? Same thing with Blue. Everything worked out exactly like I planned it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never experienced that working on any project. I kind of go with the flow, ride the bumps. This person may not be available. This person just couldn't get it done. We had a problem with trying to keep the beat because somebody else say they want the beat. You know, all this nonsense. This project came together with virtual ease as far as putting it together. Everybody was on board. I didn't have to beg nobody. You know what I mean? When I hit up Blue, he was real chill. He was like, "Yeah, man, let's do it." Miss Toy, man, me and her DM, we talk about other projects here and there. She's cool as hell. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And
So it was just amazing to run into this dope energy from this group of people who I respect. All of them. All of them are greats at what they do.
most definitely, man. Like, I remember back in the day, like somebody who did this a lot was Mac Dre. You look at a lot of Mac Dre, shit, and he had the homie from the hood, or the homie featured on the track. I know
Right.
a lot of them hit tracks he had. It was the homie that came on there with a
Yep.
little, 1-2 buckle my shoe, little
Yep.
verse. It might not have slapped exactly like Dre verse, because of course we want to hear Dre, but
Right.
the homie was on there. And I think in this day and age, if you look at the hip hop culture, there's not as many rap stars as there was. I feel there's not as many rap stars, and we can get into the politics, and that's a whole nother story. But after Tupac and all these stars that they gave the limelight to got up there and start going off script, I think they
Right.
said, wait a minute, we're not doing this no more, where we let you just be a superstar. So I feel, with that being said, people need to start coming together and networking and working and just creating cool music. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and vibing. It's about creating a vibe.
right. Because I mean, to be honest with you, in a certain way, the big the big mainstream artists are doing that. They're just doing it behind closed doors. Because
Yeah,
like those big artists are created by a bunch of people. A lot of
yeah,
those the artists who are the biggest right now may not write their own rhymes, or maybe they're not, or if they're a producer, maybe it takes a team of them that you don't hear anything about the other guys, right? So they're doing little communities, but from the outside looking in, all you see is that one name, that one artist, and you think, wow, that
yeah.
person's amazing. When actually it's about 30 people making them amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I done traveled, man. I done been, of course, the Bay Area. I done been from Portland because I'm in Southern Oregon. I'm in Southern Oregon. I done been through LA, Vegas, Arizona. I done been to a lot of different places, man. And over the years, man, I've been in different scenes, man. And it's just people acting like they was just hip hop elites and they got this and this was the wave and this and that. And now as I matured as an individual and doing my own hype, I'm looking at a lot of that shit like, come on, like, bro, like, what are y'all, what are y'all doing? Like, it's ain't none of y'all mega stars and mega millionaires, you know what I mean? And everybody's trying to act like they 5 steps ahead of the next person, which some are, but
Right.
everybody's trying to act like, you get what I'm saying? They way up
They're
here, and
portraying. They're
you know,
portraying. They're like giving off something that they're not. Or like or almost imitating their favorite artists. In some cases, I remember
yeah,
when Jay Z was the height of I mean we everybody remembers the Jay Z throwing a button down. So what did everybody do? Throw on the button down. You know what I mean? And now
everybody,
now the club scene looked different. First everybody was in there with white tees. Now everybody's got button downs because an artist told you to do it.
yeah,
And the rappers who were local, some of them were taking more than just throwing on, they was copying the energy, the rhyme, the approach, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
then when you weren't like that, when you were an outcast, you know what I mean? You being original then, it was like, you own one. But now that originality is what shines through, and all those dudes are the ones who fell off.
man. And you're 100% right. And in this day and age, like I've been preaching this, my office, we got a mini mall here. Shout out, Retro Room Records. I'm within a record store, which is a beautiful thing because I've
Nice.
been sitting back and I'm watching all these like preteens and different people buy vinyl records. And they coming in here spending $260, $80. And I'm preaching this every show. And I'm like, damn, all these people have record players. So that means, and CDs and cassettes, some too. So that means, physical media is coming back.
Yep.
So that means, and I'm doing the math, you have 10,000 fans that spend $100 with you every year. That's a million. You
Hmm.
have 5,000 fans that spend $100 with you. That's a half a milli. You know what I mean? And you keep doing the math. So as an artist, you have the ability to say, hey, you want to make $100,000 a year? You can go make $100,000 a year. Go put together a package of
Yep.
a vinyl record and some other merch and charge X amount for it, and go out there and get on your feet like we used to, and
Yep.
you can go make 100 grand and go work for yourself.
Yep. And keep reinvesting in yourself as you go. Don't get discouraged by the short-term steps that you gotta, you're not just gonna flip it over overnight. But if you stay at it, you absolutely.
It's I've been really watching it develop, and I'm like, okay, I got 3, 4 albums I've been working on with different genres and different things like this. What do I need to do to go press up vinyl, CDs, and cassettes? Because we went a long time. I mean, CD era was kind of at the I wasn't really in deep, but we've been in the streaming era for a while now. And a lot of us have been losing because before this streaming came, my big bros era in different eras, you could get out the trunk with it and go sell your CD. And people was, I mean, we used to go out and make a couple $100
Yeah.
selling CDs. And
Standing
as
in
an
front of the mall
artist,
or hitting the streets. Yeah.
man, as an artist that was putting it together from your this and that was huge to
Yeah.
be able to go make a income, You get what I'm saying? At that
Yep.
point,
An instant return too. You walk out the door with tapes or CDs or whatever the case, and you walk back in with cash.
man, with cash immediately
Yeah,
from something that you made. And I mean,
creatively.
we was paying the bills and making a living off of that. So I'm preaching this to all the art. You know how big this is now because people want something physical.
Yep. Yes.
This is huge. So all the artists, because I say this because every I've done over 1 million spins before on streaming. Me and my partner Verseborn, and that check wasn't checking. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
The check wasn't nothing crazy. So if you can get out here and push your merch and your product, do you know how beautiful that is and what era we in? You better go figure out a way for you to go get because people want to hold something now.
Yeah.
They're tired of
Yeah.
buying all this. You on PlayStation, you done bought this many PlayStation credits, and you done bought this movie on Amazon Prime, and you done bought this book on Audible. People want to hold something now again.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
As creators, open sesame.
Yep. No, hell yeah, you're right. And that's kind of the thinking with this project that I just put out because it's not out on the whole project is an EP. It's 5 songs, but only 2 songs are streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna drop a new song for streaming every so often as I go. But if you want the whole project, you gotta hit my Bandcamp. You gotta
Mm,
go over there and grab it. You see what I'm saying?
beautiful.
So that's
I,
that's how I'm rolling this out. So it'll be a slow rollout as far as singles. So if you just want to stream it, you're gonna have to wait on them other joints, you know.
beautiful.
But if
I
you
was
want it, you go over there and get it. And then I do have a merch page as well, Archives merch. All my links are in bio. So anybody who finds me on social, just check that bio. The links is there. But I have, like t-shirts.
mm,
You just held up. I got the mugs, you know what I mean? And it's
yeah.
album art, it's ideas that I came up with. I even got a page of my partner's art because he was like, yo, throw my stuff up there. Absolutely. Let's all get this money, you know?
No, no, most definitely. And you just gave me a good idea. I haven't executed it yet, but with the physical media returning, okay, I got 4 different projects that got 10 tracks each. Okay, I'm gonna have 2 little videos or visuals for each project, and then if you want the rest of it, you gotta go get a copy. I only got
Exactly.
I got 10 tracks, but only 2 are online. You want the other 8? Here you go. Here's the vinyl record. Or you want to go, here's the CD, or whatever you want to do.
Right.
And that's
That's
a
ex-
perfect tool to go push your line.
that was my thinking. You know what I'm saying? Because I took a lot of time. My thing was I've been dropping albums for years, man. Anybody can check my Bandcamp. You can check my name and streaming. My name. If you type it in Google, everything will show up. I have years and years of work out there, so I have a little bit of a great understanding of what's going to happen when you drop something. You know what I mean? And what I didn't want to happen was to drop this project and then a month later, don't nobody remember it.
Yeah.
Y'all was all hyped with me for about a week and a half. The
Yep.
week before it dropped, the week it dropped, and maybe a week after, and then now a month later, I'm screaming into a empty room. Nobody's listening no more because they're like, ah, yeah, yeah, we know, we know. But now doing it this way, like you said, man, you give them a little bit, and if you really want to get that, come over here and get it. But even if you just listen to these 2 songs that are streaming, I appreciate that too. Thank you for just checking it out. But if you really want to support, you got to go over here and grab it. You know.
Most definitely. This ain't the Machiavelli days where you listening to that project over and over and over. And that's why we making so much music now because it's not just the attention span is so short now. Like this
Yeah.
Drake and Kendrick beef by next month, it's gonna be old news.
Yep.
This
Yep.
this pop up or pop out, pop up, however they labeled it, by next month, it's gonna be old news. Well,
Yep.
okay, we already know about that. What's the next thing that's popping? And so, as an artist that needs to stay in the picture, because if you fall off for a year, they gonna forget about you.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you got to have something to constantly throw in their face, or get out in these streets. And I'm a big fan of getting out in these streets. And I said this on the last show. It's like a dating app. You can shoot your shot. Hey, baby, you know what I mean? You find as May wine on the internet or the app. But hey, when I hop in your face, you know what I mean? And I'm
Right.
3D or 5,
Right.
4D, 5D, whatever, and I got the guy and
Right.
I'm, hey, baby, you gotta really come at
You
me
can
with the
feel me
right,
now.
you
Yeah,
know,
you
you
can
might have
feel me.
you might have called me a bozo online, but when I'm in your face, you know what I mean? you might have
Uh-huh.
to,
That energy flip.
yes, surrender to my energy in
Yep.
person. And I feel the same way with sales and going to push your line and push your product outside or promoting what you got going on outside. Hey, you might have seen a flyer online. It's a show coming up. And when I go, hey, man, we got the show coming up. You going to come or what? You know what I mean? It's a
Right.
big difference. And I think we lost that a little bit with this technology.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the technology makes it so easy for me to do it from my couch, right?
Yep.
Do everything. I mean, we don't even go to the movies as much as we used to because that movie's going to drop in 90 days. Like you can actually look it up now. If a movie comes out, look on Google and say, when will the movie that just came out today be out on video or streaming or whatever? And it's going to give you the date all instantly. So you can, oh, I'll just wait then. And that's what people do.
And see
So it'll be
me
the same way with the music.
like we're building a drive-in here now, and a lot of places don't have drive-ins, but they're building a drive-in. And I mean, even in this area,
That's a
like
good
these
look.
people here aren't that into movies. Like if something hot come out or for the kids, they'll be up there. But me, like, bro, and I had a theater to myself sometimes up here. I'll go to the movies and I'll go watch the movie, and if I like it, I'm gonna go to the theater and see the same movie a couple
Hmm.
times because
Hmm.
I just like the screen and the
The
experience. I'll fall asleep in
experience.
the movie and wake up and watch the movie and all kind of
Hmm.
shit. I'd rather get out and do it. And
Yeah.
like streaming at home is cool and some shit, but you got to get out, man, and experience it.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I mean, you mentioned, having little ones, you know what I mean? You don't want to just keep them just in front of a screen at the crib like that. Go out and experience life, go to a movie theater, experience going up to the counter, getting the popcorn, you know what I mean? These are all
Yeah,
things that, help build dope memories for them.
most definitely. And you got to be able to, part of growing up and coming up was, and I tell people this a lot of times because I be trying to have events or do different stuff for us to get together and vibe. We went through the pandemic and stuff like that. Everybody was scared, but
Yeah.
not even always on no concerts because they be trying to get iffy about book and rap and different stuff. But man, neo soul or hip hop or lo-fi, we just vibing in the building and conversation. But I tell people a lot of times, man, because you see everybody personality is geared around memes and on the internet. But I'm like, man, you used to have to go and get a nice outfit, man. And you used to have to go out and have something cool to say in front of a
Get
crowd
your
of
hair
people.
cut.
Yeah, man, haircut. And you used to have to stand in front of 30 people and have something to say and stand on it. But now you're on the internet, typing some sentences like you cool. Like, nah, you really used to have to get out and stand on what you was talking about.
Hmm.
But
Absolutely. Yep.
times have changing. But it's especially for your art. These artists, y'all got to get out there and do your thing, man.
Yeah, and I mean, and I would definitely suggest try out everything, but don't keep beating a dead horse. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, it's a time and energy and time and place for everything. When I first started rhyming, man, I was out here performing 3 nights a week, right? But I wasn't getting no traction as far as like moving the music.
yeah,
So I took some time out and thought, well, what could I do different? And internet and all of that, social media was really just starting to bubble a little bit, and I took
yeah,
to that like instantly. And I mean, I found my fan base was generally on the East Coast, California, and the East Coast, and overseas. And it got so bad to where the music I was dropping with my partner Nichols, I would find our stuff on websites we couldn't even read. You know what I mean? I
mm,
had to run them through the translate and be like, oh, okay, so in Paris they said I should is this, you know what I mean? Or over here in blah blah blah, they
wow,
said right. So, and I'm sending him these articles. I found our stuff getting bootlegged in like
mm,
Morocco, and you know what I mean? All these places. But when you read the article, they're loving it. So, it's a double-edged sword. You don't want your music stolen, but look, man, I'm building a huge fan base, which grew into now who I get to listening to my streams. I
yeah,
think that's the only reason I have a strong streaming, presence on like like Spotify and whatnot, is because they actually knew my name out there. And I can still
yeah.
see those countries are the top countries are the ones that are listening to me.
Oh,
Um, you know,
that's
yeah, it's
beautiful.
wild, dude. Overseas, France, England, you know what I mean? Places that I'm like, I don't even know where that is. Like, what does a flag look like? You know what I mean? And they're listening to my stuff over there.
Man, you never know. You could be sitting
Never
here right
know.
now, and I mean, I remember seeing numbers Singapore or this place. You never know where they listening to you. You might be over here trying to make it, but in one of them other countries, you know what I mean. They over there, they got a shrine for your ass over there. You know what I
Right.
mean, bumping
It,
you and checking you out.
yeah, as a young man hit me up on IG one day, added me, and he got me in the story, and I clicked the story, and he's working out at the gym listening to my music, and it's like scenes of
Yeah.
him on all the different equipment bumping different songs. And I was like, wow, appreciate it. He was telling me he's in like the Naval Academy and whatnot, and he's like, man, you really all I'm listening to right now. Man, you need to hurry up and blow up. I'm tired of all these whack rappers and all this. You know what I'm saying? But like
Hey,
that one conversation is so inspiring that how can you not go and make 10 more albums or whatever. You know what I mean? That's enough fuel for me to keep going, damn it forever.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, I had to break it down to myself because it seems overwhelming. 10,000 fans, which seems like a lot, but in compared to Drake or Snoop or somebody, it's really not a lot. 10,000
Right.
fans spend $50 with you or 100, whatever you could do the math. It's really not that much. It takes some work and moving around, but if you could secure that fan base or less, I mean, you could even do like if you're doing the $100,000 a year, you know what I mean? It's way less, and then when you get that money, you can say, "Hey, they rocking with your boy in Morocco. Guess who's coming to Morocco?"
Exactly. Right. Right. And I
And
mean
that's
that 10,000 is a dope mark because you don't even have to be so you don't even have to want you can be working with a lot of entities sometimes, when you post your music up, maybe this service takes a little bit out of your, the pot. So what if you only made $1 off your product of a $10 product? What if you only made $1 off of a $10 product, but you still hit 10,000 people? That's
and
man, I'm not mad at that. You know what I mean? Because I can reinvest that $10,000 and now I can make a bigger splash. And that's continuing the growth. You know what I mean?
yeah, a lot of people is only making X amount of dollars a year, and if you
Yeah.
look at 10K,
Off of
that's a
music.
that's a huge chunk of what a lot of people are making annually.
Yeah. And you do it with music one year. Come on, man.
I feel like it could be done because I'm working on some shit right now. Not only am I gonna be making music, I'm making content. I hope to be designing video games, and I hope to be one of my next big goals is, man, I'm gonna start dropping movies like albums. You know what I mean? I hope
Hmm.
to I hope to be making four, five, three, three, four, five, six movies a year, short films, and getting them up on Tubi. You know what I mean? Whether I'm
Right.
making
Right.
a zombie movie or whatever little thing I want to do. Now I'm able to take my product and go, hey man, can you purchase my movie? You know what I mean? Or hey, you already seen the movie on Tubi. You know what I mean? Here I got the action figure, Flamingo Fred versus Zombie Island. You know what I mean? Fuck
Right.
it.
Right. Hmm.
Fuck it.
Hmm.
Dolomite. Fuck it. You know what I mean? And
Right.
those are the possibilities. So you got to look at yourself as a brand, and people gonna think you crazy. They gonna think this fool is nuts. He in a zombie movie, but why not? I'm not. I want to just have fun, man.
And you're gonna mess around and hit a cult following, and that's gonna blow it out the water. And then that's when this dude is crazy, this dude is nuts, turns into, oh, well, there's 10,000 people who get it. So maybe he's not that crazy. Maybe he's
Yeah.
not that, you know what I'm saying? If 10,000 other people like it, agree with it, and support it, there you go. They just maybe not in your neighborhood, right?
Oh, who cares? At that point, like I
Exactly. Who
said,
cares?
that 10,000 times $100 a year, that's a million. But look at it. Why wouldn't you spend with me? Because I'm not just pushing music on you. I got a zombie movie, and I got whatever else, and I got whatever you need, and you gonna want to spend $100 with me. I'm gonna make you want to spend 100.
Hmm.
And I'm not
And now
saying
they're
that to
looking back
sound
at
big
you.
for me, but everybody
Right.
do your thing and figure that out.
Yep. And everybody who said you was crazy, like I said, they're gonna turn that comment right around and be like, oh, now I get it. Okay. Hmm.
Most definitely, because it's I one of the big influences. One of my favorite artists and was Master P. And I don't know
Brilliant dude.
the ins and outs of exactly what he's doing now because they always try to put a twist on P like he got a scheme. But I remember, I was very little when Master P and them had the wave, and I mean, looking back, I've went and watched the No Limit Chronicles, and looking back, like how they was out the trunk and how they went into this area of New Orleans. You know what I mean? They took the Bay game and they wasn't really used to it. Now they dropping these albums and shit out here, and the deal that they signed with the record label, and they was on the wrestling show and they was doing this and doing that. It's remarkable.
And you see, if I remember correctly, didn't Pete like maybe either own or run a record store? And
Yeah,
like when people came in, and if you bought Tupac, you get Tupac, but he would scan boop, boop, Master P and you know what I'm saying? So
yeah. He
like
opened
that's how he got
that was in
them
the
them
Bay.
first numbers to where people had the business had to look at him like, who is this dude who basically went, platinum in his own city on his own? They had to talk to him then.
Bro, it's so many things to do now, and like, man, I'm Flamingo Fred. Like, part of the thing when I'm switching it up was the branding for me. So I got so much shit around me where people seen the flamingo and they brought it for, cups and, you know what I mean, and dolls and beanie babies.
Hmm.
Motherfuckers just brought for me being Flamingo Fred. So I'm like, okay, let me Flamingo Fred, some 80s vibes or whatever else, and throw that together. I'm going to make you spend $100 with me
That goes
a
back to the
year.
very beginning when you was talking about that brand. They got you hosting, they got you doing that brings it all back around to that. Yep.
And that was by me creating something outside of just rap and doing this. It was a brand and a personality, and it's opening doors. And I mean, I'm not done yet. And like I said, it's not to be. I don't want nobody jumping on my bushes taking pictures of me, but I enjoy making movies and doing shit and acting and having fun and creating things. Like I said,
Yeah. And that's what
yeah,
it's supposed to be. That's the point. If you ain't enjoying it, what's the point?
it ain't no point. It ain't no point. You know.
Yep.
What's somebody who's somebody you would work with if you could right now?
Um, well, like I've been production wise, I've always wanted to work with DJ Quick.
Mm,
Everyone I've ever heard rap before they rap with, or without him, and then with him, that everyone sounds better with Quick. Everybody.
mm.
You know what I mean? So I would love to work with a DJ Quick and just see what he would do, on the production side.
Quick is a genius. He has his records sugar free. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You,
I
you heard
always
the
love
joints
that.
he did with Chingy?
Mm, I don't
You
know.
I
Maybe I
think there's two
did.
or three joints. I think it's one with Chingy, Sugar Free, and him, maybe. And then there's one with Sugar Free, or excuse me, with Quick and Chingy. Man, I'm not a big fan of Chingy. I never have been, but on the songs he's on with Quick, I was like, come on now. You know what I mean? Like Quick makes everyone sound better.
Remember, I forget the song, and I mean it's one of his biggest songs, but he had that song where the breakdown was like Nirvana.
Hmm.
Come on, let's get
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
down.
yeah. Yep.
Like, I don't, it had to be where they got that. Either it was an accident or that was from Nirvana, like the melody and the
Yeah.
vocal
I never
scheme.
thought of that. Now I can't. Now I
Bruh,
never not hear
you
that.
gonna
I
you gonna
never
have to
thought of
hit me
that.
on
Team Spirit.
Instagram. Yeah, because that's what
Yeah.
I love that song, Teen
Wow.
Spirit. And then I was listening to Quick. I'm like, bruh, this is genius how he took that vibe and turned it into this whole different genre.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Now that's a good one. I did not catch that. Now I
Bruh,
never,
go
I'll never
go
forget that.
go peep it on Instagram, or I mean, go peep it and then let me know on the gram what you think. Cause
Yeah,
I was like this,
definitely.
I was like, bro, he's a genius because that Team Spirit is hard. Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah.
even in at that point. I wasn't even into rock and roll and shit like that, and I thought Team Spirit was hard. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
And so here come DJ. Come on, let's get down. Let's fire.
Yeah. I'd never thought about that. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely pull it up after this because now
Yes,
I got to hear it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
my brain, I don't know, you just be listening to shit, and my brain was always like, man, because like recently, like I said, I've been doing this funk and electronic, and I've been like diving. It's such a new thing. Like I was, because growing up, we listened to oldies and we
Hmm.
listen to rap. Pops wake up, grew up with Pops, you know what I mean? Saturday, Sunday, he throwing the oldies on, you know what I mean, in there making Jimmy Dean sausage, you know what I mean?
Right, right.
Or R&B. So as you get
Hmm.
older, you start listening to different genres more, but I've been listening to like a lot of like 60s garage punk rock. And the reason I listen to it is because you look at these melodies they doing or these hooks, and you know, a lot of things is like a melody and stuff, and they just got these dope ass little melodies on how they do their vocal patterns or whatever up else. And that's kind of what Quick did with Teen Spirit. He's like, okay, this your melody, let me take that and come on, let's get
Yeah,
down, and flipped it into some shit for the culture.
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
You feel me?
Absolutely. Like I said, I'm gonna pull that up as soon as we, as soon as I get up off here. I'm gonna pull that one up for
Man,
sure.
pull it
Yeah.
up, man. Um, what's your next project after this one that you just got?
Um, the next thing I'm gonna release, you know what? Solo projects. I'm not gonna do too many solo projects
That's how
unless
I
there's
felt.
something I really feel
That's how I felt.
strongly about. This project wasn't even going to happen. My daughter kind of encouraged me to do it. I was like, I got an idea, and she was like, No, you should definitely do it. So, I started working on this one, and it became like a passion. But
Mhm.
unless I feel the same way, about the next piece, I'm a chill. I do have some things that I'm working on with other people. The main, I guess you would say, group I'm in is myself and Nichols. He's a producer. We call
Mhm.
ourselves Migrate to Electronics Movement, right?
Mm.
Kind of the style is kind of like cowboy bebop vibe,
Damn,
space
that's
age
dope.
jazz, you know what I'm saying? And
Ooh,
we like to keep it fun like that. We got an album called Waffles and Blunts 2. And those were when I was talking about getting bootleg, these are that album or those albums, right?
yeah,
So me and him are working together again on something smaller. We have a project called Anubis that we're gonna drop probably the end of this year, early next year. But other than that, man, I want to just kind of slow it down a little bit and make sure I work on real high quality stuff.
yeah,
When I finished this Gas and Guns album, I was real proud of it. You know what I mean? So at this point, I can't see myself going backwards. I need to make sure everything has a standard that makes me feel like this.
yeah. Most definitely. And you hit something a nail on the head of something I was thinking about because I'm like, I've been in the studio a lot myself and making records, and I'm like, when I'm rapping and stuff, I was thinking to myself, I don't really want to rap by myself no more. I want to go make that, MF Doom, Madlib collaboration project, so that way, I can send. Like I got a project right now, and shout out to Sir David out of Texas. And I was bugging him. I'm like, man, send me some beats, and he sent me a 10 pack of beats. He did his job and they're fire. They're like 80s Wolf of Wall Street, and I'm about to like make the
Mm,
Flamingo Fred like 80s Wolf of Wall Street vibe.
that's
But I'm
live.
like,
Yeah.
it's hard for me to just hop on there by myself. So I'm
Right.
like, man, I need to get somebody on this so I can bounce off of and
Turn
bounce
it
off
into
the
an 80s
energy.
Miami Vice type of thing. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying?
I'm like, I need somebody to bounce off of because I'll come with a hot verse, but I just need somebody to bounce off of because me and my brother Verseborn, we just did a project. I forget the exact name because he just sent me the tracks and I'm dropping, but we just did like a medieval type tape, you know what I mean? Where it was just like all medieval Game of Thrones
That's
storyline,
dope.
and I'm just plugging my verse. He like this one called King Me, so throw it. I'm King Me, whatever verse, and then this one's called, like we rushing the cast or whatever. And we just, but it was easy for me to do and drop the verses because I had somebody to bounce off of. But now I got a
That's
whole other
dope.
tape at home, which should be easy work for me. I could damn near do it, in a couple of days, but I just need that other energy to bounce off of.
Those ideas and concepts you just mentioned are dope. You said those are things you're working on. They not out yet.
I'm working on now.
I'm gonna be looking out for that.
Yeah,
That's dope, man.
I'm gonna work. I
Um,
might. We might have to tap in and work on something, man. If you
I'm
got
with it.
time, we
I'm
might have
with
to
it.
tap
I
in and
did a
work on something.
I did something called Year the Villain back in around COVID,
Uh
where
huh.
I dropped one song a month, and each song was about my favorite comic book or comic book villain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That project really took off because it's not a whole album. You can't buy it nowhere. I turned it into an NFT, so you can actually buy it as an NFT. But streaming or all of that, you can only stream the songs individually, and each one has a different vibe. So like I got one where I'm rhyme. I did Doom one because I wanted to rap, about
Yeah,
Doctor Doom, but I chose to rhyme in the style of MF Doom, right?
yeah,
You know what I mean? Something a little weird, wild. You know what I mean? Then I got one that I'm doing with Bane. I did, so I'm wrapping up, on the topic of Bane, but the beat is kind of high tempo, so I called
yeah,
it Bang Thugs in Harmony. So I'm doing
yeah.
double speed on it. You know what I'm saying? So
Nah, most
different
definitely.
concepts and stuff. That's fun, man.
Nah, that's what I'm on, and to be out of the box and wild, and like I said with the vinyl, like one of the things I really wanted to do was just work with a bunch of different artists with different flavors and come out with these nice artwork and the vinyls like Doom and them was doing. So now we got this beautiful artwork on the vinyl, and I'm featuring, it's a collaboration with me and another artist. Now we got this product to sell, like I was talking about before. You know what I
Right.
mean? And now you
Mm-hmm.
got this vinyl. Oh, this is the 80s Miami Vice vibe. This one
Hmm.
is the, you know what I mean? The Toxic Avenger, or whatever the fuck, you know what
Right.
I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever it might
Yeah.
be. And that's what the music is fun for me. And if I can get back to that, I'll cook.
Right. Yeah. And what I've also found to be that's fuels me is when I do these concept projects, they all have different audiences. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, Back in the day, I was a nerd for being into Star Wars and being into
yeah,
Marvel and DC, and you know what I mean, growing up playing with Legos. Now everything I just named, everyone knows about and everyone loves. You know what I'm saying?
it's
So
cool now.
it's cool, right? So that kind of help benefits in my, benefits for me and my creativity because if I share something, I know somebody's going to get this Bubba Fett line that I said. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know
Yeah,
if you ever heard of a group called Cannibal Ox, but Vast Air, he says something about yes, it's dark outside, it's so cold, your tauntaun will die. And he rhymes on, yo, if you don't watch Star Wars, you don't know what a tauntaun is. That makes
hmm,
no sense to you know what I mean? But
yeah.
I like doing stuff like that that talks to certain genres or certain people. It's like, oh, you talking to them Star Wars fans on this one. Got it.
And that's why, before I said when you in mainstream, you in a box, but like Flamingo Fred, I mean, it's part of my personality and stuff, but I feel like I got different sides of my personality, and that's where it comes. But now you got this certain album and it fits in, and now you at Comic-Con, and now you doing a zombie movie, and now you over here
Exactly.
pushing with the nerds who you could rock with because that's part of you, and then y'all got video games and shit. And these are the people that are gonna spend money with you, and you could go
There it
vibe out
is.
on some nerd shit with them.
Exactly. There it is. And that is fun. The whole process, the creation of it, the promotion of it, and
Man,
then building with the people with the like-minded individuals that your art brings towards you. That's what we're doing it
they
for. Fun.
they
The
gonna
money
they
comes
gonna
with that.
they gonna appreciate it. They gonna get it. They gonna be out there chilling, dressed up as the Powerpuff Girls with the
Yep.
fishnets on. You, I
Right.
mean, you gonna be
Right.
chilling. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Why
exactly.
not? Why not? So, man,
Yep.
any last shout outs you want to give? Because I can go on forever.
Yeah, yeah, man. Same here. I just appreciate everybody. The Gas and Guns is my EP that's out right now. Once again, you can only get the whole project on Bandcamp, and I got two songs streaming: Body Count by myself and Pressure Point with myself, Miss Toy, and Six Millie. I thank you to everybody who supported it. This has been my best. The feedback I've been getting. You know what I mean? This has been well received. My just probably doing the best as far as financially is making the most, all of that. This has definitely been my greatest project that I put out as far as what I'm getting back from it. So I'm very thankful about that. Thank you to everybody who's on there. My daughter, Renee, Six Millie, Body Bag Van for the beats, Planet Asia Blue, Miss Toy, Speak Low for mixing the whole project because without him it would be nothing. Shout out to Folded Waffle because as soon as I sent them the joint, they was on board, posted me quick, 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 and they connected me to you.
Most
So
definitely.
I appreciate all of that. I appreciate you for, spending time with me. Definitely want to link up with you again, talk about some of the things and, possibly work on some stuff as well. And everybody who's tuned in, man, I'm just, I appreciate everybody sticking around.
Most definitely, man. I appreciate you. I'm gonna tap in with you off wax. We also gonna bring you back on here anytime. I'm gonna tap in with you off the wax here soon and see if we can put something together.
Let's do it. Sounds good, man.
All right, family.
For sure. Peace.